Right, listen up. Ever been on a night out, the lights are flashing, the energy is electric, and then a track drops that just hits different? It's got this deep, rubbery bass line that you feel in your chest, a melody that's pure euphoria, and a metallic twang that sounds like it's been beamed straight from a spaceship. You don't know what it is, but your feet are already moving. You're not just hearing the music, you're feeling it. That, my friends, is the magic of Future House. It's that instant rush, that sound that can turn a quiet room into a full-blown party in under 8 minutes. It's more than just a genre, it's a whole mood, a vibe that's taken over dance floors from Ibiza to London and everywhere in between. This isn't just another sub-genre of electronic music that sounds like everything else you've heard. No, this one has its own unique fingerprint. It's got the soul and groove of classic house music, but it's been given a futuristic makeover. Think of it like taking a vintage sports car and fitting it with a souped-up, hyper-modern engine. It's familiar, yet completely new at the same time. The sound is clean, polished, and designed to make you move. It's that perfect sweet spot between something deep and soulful, and something that makes you want to jump up and down with your hands in the air. Have you ever had a track stop you in your tracks like that? What was it? The first time I properly heard a Future House track, I was genuinely blown away. It was that signature wobbly bass line that got me. It didn't sound aggressive or harsh like some other electronic genres can. It was smooth, bouncy, and almost playful. Paired with those uplifting piano chords and a soulful vocal snippet, it was a combination I hadn't really experienced before. It felt positive, optimistic, and full of life. It's the kind of music that can lift your spirits instantly, a sonic shot of pure joy. It's no wonder it exploded in popularity, because who doesn't need a bit more of that in their life? That initial feeling is what this guide is all about. We're going to break down that sound, explore where it came from, and introduce you to the pioneers who are pushing it forward. Whether you're a seasoned clubber who knows your Don Diablo from your Oliver Heldens, or you're completely new to the scene and just want to know what all the fuss is about, you're in the right place. We're going on a journey into one of the most exciting sounds in modern dance music. So get your headphones on, turn the volume up, and let's dive into the world of Future House. Ready? Let's get into it. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. What actually is Future House? If you were to describe it to your mate down the pub, you'd say it's a type of house music that's all about the bass line. But it's not just any bass line, it's a specific kind of sound, often described as metallic, rubbery, or springy. It's got this distinctive wobble to it that sits right in the mid-range, making it incredibly groovy and infectious. It's the sort of bass that doesn't just rumble, it bounces. This sound is usually paired with a classic 4-to-the-floor house beat, running at a tempo of around 120 to 128 beats per minute, which is the perfect pace for dancing without being too frantic. But it's not just about the bass. Future House is also defined by its polished, clean production and its often euphoric, uplifting melodies. You'll hear bright, poppy synth leads, soulful vocal chops, and sometimes even classic house piano chords that give it a warm, emotional core. It's a real fusion of old and new. It takes the deep, groovy elements of deep house, the energy of electro house, and wraps it all up in a shiny, futuristic package. It's a sound that's accessible enough for the radio, but has enough credibility to get a serious reaction in the clubs. It's the perfect balance, really. Think of it as the friendly, outgoing cousin in the electronic music family. While genres like techno might take you on a darker, more hypnotic journey, Future House is all about immediate fun and positive energy. It's music that wants to be your friend. It's not trying to be overly complex or pretentious. Its main goal is to put a massive smile on your face and get your body moving. It's the sound of summer festivals, of late-night drives with the windows down, and of that moment when the dance floor just completely erupts. What's the most feel-good track you know? I bet it shares some DNA with Future House. The term itself was supposedly coined by the French DJ and producer Tchami, who initially used it as a tag on his SoundCloud uploads for tracks that didn't quite fit into any existing category. He wasn't trying to invent a genre, he was just describing his sound, a vision of what house music could sound like in the future. Little did he know, he'd end up giving a name to a global movement. It's a testament to how a unique sound can capture the imagination of producers and fans worldwide, creating a whole new community and culture around it. Every great story has a beginning, and for Future House, our story starts around 2013. The electronic music scene at the time was dominated by the explosive, high-energy sounds of big room EDM. Think massive drops, aggressive synths, and epic build-ups. It was huge, it was loud, and frankly, some people were starting to get a bit tired of it. They were craving something with a bit more groove, a bit more soul. And right on cue, a new sound began to bubble up from the underground, offering a refreshing alternative. This was the perfect breeding ground for something new to take root. The key players in this origin story are producers like the aforementioned Charmy and a young Dutch artist named Oliver Heldens. In 2013, Heldens released a track called Gecko, and it completely changed the game. It had this deep, infectious, wobbly bass line that was unlike anything else in the mainstream at the time. It was funky, it was fresh, and it became a massive hit. Soon after, Charmy started dropping tracks like Promises and Untrue, which had a similar vibe, but with a slightly more soulful, garage-influenced feel. These tracks laid the blueprint for what would become the future house sound. These pioneers weren't working in a vacuum, of course. They were drawing inspiration from various places. You can hear the influence of UK garage in the shuffling hi-hats and chopped-up vocals. You can hear the DNA of classic deep house in the focus on melody and groove. And you can even hear a touch of the polished sound design from the EDM scene they were reacting against. It was a melting pot of influences, skillfully blended together to create something that felt both nostalgic and incredibly forward-thinking. It's a classic example of artists taking the sounds they love and asking, what's next? What happened next was a whirlwind. Gecko got a vocal makeover with Becky Hill, becoming Gecko Overdrive, and shot to #1 in the UK charts in 2014. This was the moment future house truly broke into the mainstream. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of this new sound. DJs all over the world started playing it, producers started making their own versions, and a genre was officially born. It's amazing how quickly it all happened, isn't it? It just goes to show that when the right sound comes along at the right time, it can take over the world. So you want to know how to spot a future house track in the wild? Or maybe you're an aspiring producer looking to cook up your own banger. Let's get under the bonnet and look at the key ingredients. First and foremost, as we've said, is the bass line. The classic future house bass is typically made using an FM synthesizer, like Native Instruments' FM8. This is what gives it that distinctive metallic resonant character. The sound is often a simple sine or square wave that's been heavily modulated to create a percussive, short and plucky sound. It's all about that whoop or donk that drives the whole track forward. Next up, the drums. The drum pattern is usually a straightforward 4-to-the-floor kick drum, providing that classic house pulse. But the magic is in the percussion that sits on top. You'll often hear crisp offbeat hi-hats, sharp claps or snares on the second and fourth beats, and often some shuffling UK garage-style percussion loops to add a sense of swing and groove. The drums are never too aggressive. They're there to provide a solid, danceable foundation for the melody and bass to sit on top of. It's about making you nod your head and tap your feet. Then we have the melodic elements, which are just as important. This is where the emotion of the track comes from. Future house melodies are often bright, catchy, and uplifting. They can be played on anything from a supersaw synth, creating a big, euphoric sound, to a more traditional sounding piano or electric piano for a soulful vibe. A very common technique is the use of vocal chops, small, edited snippets of a vocal line that are repitched and arranged to create a new, catchy melody. It's a super effective way to add a human touch and an unforgettable hook. Finally, let's talk about structure. A typical future house track follows a familiar dance music arrangement. You'll have an intro, a build-up, a drop, a breakdown, another build-up, and a final drop. The drop is the main event, where the bass line and the main melody all come together in full force. The breakdown is the bit in the middle where the beat drops out, leaving just the melodic and atmospheric elements to create a moment of pure euphoria or emotion before the energy builds back up again. It's a formula, sure, but it's a formula that works perfectly on the dance floor. Subscribe, like, and smash that bell so that you never miss your daily fix of awesomeness, right here on Krannaken TV. Every scene has its heroes, the trailblazers who define the sound and carry the torch. In Future House, there are a few names that you absolutely have to know. We've already mentioned the Godfathers, Charmy and Oliver Heldens. Charmy, with his Pardon My French crew and Confession label, continues to push a darker, more bass-heavy side of the genre. Oliver Heldens, on the other hand, has become a global superstar, with his Hell Deep Records label championing the groovier, more melodic side of house music. These two are the undisputed kings, the reference points for everyone else. But the royal family of Future House doesn't end there. Another huge name is Don Diablo. The Dutch producer and DJ has a style that's often described as a slightly more energetic and futuristic take on the genre. His tracks are known for their intricate sound design, powerful piano melodies, and often feature his own vocals. He's built a massive, dedicated fan base, the Hexagonians, and his label, Hexagon, is one of the most influential platforms for new and established future house artists. He's a powerhouse of positivity and creativity in the scene. We also have to give a massive shout out to artists like Jonas Blue and Jax Jones from right here in the UK, who have taken elements of future house and blended them with pop to create massive international chart toppers. Then there are artists like Chocolate Puma, a veteran duo from the Netherlands, who were making groovy house music long before future house was a thing, and who have adapted their sound perfectly. And let's not forget the likes of Mike Williams, Mesto and Brooks, who represent a younger generation of producers pushing the sound in new and exciting directions. The list goes on and on. Who are your favorite producers in the genre? Let me know in the comments. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of future house, do me a favor and hit that like button and share this with a mate who needs to upgrade their playlist. Getting the word out helps us keep bringing you content like this. Now back to it. The great thing about the future house scene is how collaborative and supportive it seems to be. You constantly see these top-tier artists working together, remixing each other's tracks, and shouting out new talent on their radio shows and labels. It's a genuine community, and that sense of unity is a huge part of its appeal. So here we are in 2025. Musical trends come and go faster than ever, so why is future house still so relevant? I think a big part of it is its incredible versatility. The core sound, the bouncy bass, the four-to-the-floor beat is a perfect template that can be blended with almost anything. We've seen future house fused with pop, with trap, with trance, and even with more chilled-out ambient sounds. This adaptability means it never gets stale. Producers are constantly finding new ways to reinvent it, keeping it fresh and exciting for listeners. It's not stuck in the past, it's always evolving. Another reason for its staying power is its overwhelmingly positive vibe. In a world that can often feel a bit heavy, future house offers a pure, unadulterated form of escapism. It's music that's designed to make you feel good. The uplifting melodies, the soulful vocals, the energetic grooves, it's a sonic antidote to negativity. That kind of feel-good energy is timeless. People will always need music that lifts them up, and future house delivers that in spades. It's the sound of celebration, of unity, and of just letting go and having a good time on the dance floor. It's also managed to find a perfect home, both in the mainstream and the underground. You can hear future house tracks on primetime radio, in TV adverts, and on the biggest festival main stages. But you can also find DJs spinning deeper, grittier versions of it in sweaty basement clubs. This dual identity gives it a huge reach. It can appeal to the casual music fan who just wants a catchy tune, and also to the more discerning dance music aficionado, who is looking for something with a bit more substance and groove. How many other genres can truly say that? Ultimately, I think future house matters today because it brought the house back into electronic dance music. During the big room era, everything was about the drop. The groove and the soul of dance music had taken a bit of a backseat. Future house reminded everyone that dance music can be melodic, groovy, and emotional, as well as energetic. It recentered the focus on proper songwriting and musicality, paving the way for a more diverse and interesting electronic music landscape. It was a much-needed reset, and its influence can still be heard everywhere today. Right, if you're going to be part of the future house scene, you need to be able to speak the language. Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here are a few key terms to get you started so you can sound like you know what you're on about. First up, the most important one, the wobble or donk bass. This, as we've discussed, refers to that signature metallic bouncy bass sound that is the absolute heart of a future house track. It's the sound that started it all, the one you can pick out in a second. It's the genre's sonic signature. Next, you'll often hear people talk about the drop. This is a term used across all of dance music, but it's crucial in future house. The drop is the moment in the track, usually after a build-up of tension where the main beat and bass line kick in with full force. It's the peak of the track, the part that everyone is waiting for. In future house, the drop is less about a huge explosion of noise and more about the release of a killer groove. It's the point where the head nodding turns into full-on dancing. What's the most satisfying drop you've ever heard? Another term you might come across is vocal chops. This is a production technique where a producer takes a vocal recording, slices it up into tiny pieces, and then rearranges those pieces to create a new melody or rhythmic pattern. It's a hugely popular sound in Future House and adds a really catchy, almost percussive human element to a track. It's a clever way to create a hook without needing a full vocal performance. Think of it like a vocalist being played like a keyboard. It's a simple idea, but so effective when done right. Finally, let's talk about stabs. Stabs are short, percussive bursts of sound, usually from a synth or a sample of an orchestra hit. In Future House, you'll often hear rhythmic synth stabs playing a chord sequence that complements the main bass line. They help to add energy and drive to the track, filling in the gaps between the kick drum and the bass. They are a key part of the rhythmic texture of the genre. So there you have it, you're now fluent in the basics of Future House. Go forth and impress your mates with your newfound knowledge. So what does the future hold for Future House? After more than a decade in the game, the genre is still going strong, but like all music, it continues to change and evolve. I reckon we're going to see even more fusion and experimentation. Producers are getting more and more creative with the sounds they're blending together. Imagine Future House mixed with the rhythms of amapiano or the atmospheric textures of melodic techno. The possibilities are endless, and it's this constant innovation that will keep the genre alive and kicking for years to come. I also believe the core, classic Future House sound will always have a place. Just like classic rock or 90s hip-hop, it's become a foundational sound that new generations of fans and producers will continue to discover and fall in love with. There will always be a demand for that pure, uplifting, groovy sound that Oliver Heldens and Charmy pioneered. It's a timeless formula for good vibes, and that never goes out of style. It's become a part of the permanent vocabulary of dance music, a classic sound in its own right. The community aspect will also be crucial for its future. The labels like Hexagon and Hell Deep, the radio shows, the collaborative spirit between artists, these are the things that keep the scene healthy and vibrant. As long as there are platforms for new talent to be discovered and for established artists to push the boundaries, the genre will continue to thrive. It's a global network of people who are all passionate about the same sound, and that shared passion is a powerful force for keeping the music moving forward. Ultimately, the future of Future House is bright. It's a genre that has proven its resilience, its versatility, and its universal appeal. It brought fun and groove back to the main stage, and its influence continues to spread. It's a sound that's full of optimism, and that's something we can all get behind. So whether you're listening, dancing, or creating, you're part of a story that's still being written. The beat goes on. If you love this guide, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with everyone you know, and let's spread the Future House gospel. What do you think is next for the genre? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Peace.